All right, we're going to get started on this little present, just as an opening up for this reunion. All right, everybody's seen this. This is just the welcome page. And I wanted to, can everybody see me okay? I have to get on my knees. I wanted to talk about just some simple stuff, but you know, this is the angle we're dealing with. Family, as defined by Webster's Dictionary. A group of people who are related to each other, different definitions. A person's children, a group of related people, including people who lived in the past. Full definition, plural families. A group of individuals living under one roof, usually under one head, household. A group of persons of common ancestry, we call it a clan. A people or group of peoples regarded as deriving from a common stock or race. A group of people united by certain convictions or common affiliation, fellowship, you know, we say brothers and sisters, you know, in church, family. Closely related series of elements, chemical compounds, you know, family of iron, everything, families. And that's just some more examples down at the bottom. A death in the family. There are several doctors on his mother's side of the family. So, family. Everybody say family.
Family.
Family. Just talking about family. And then reunion. Reunion, an act of getting people together again after they have been apart. An act of reuniting. I thought about that. You know, reuniting, you know, there's power in unity. And family, God instituted and organized the family for his purpose. That was his whole, everything. God is so concerned about the family. Everything comes from the family. The first kingdom was the family. So when we unite, then we have a better chance of bringing God's glory, doing what we're supposed to do as one, right? We can't defeat the devil by ourselves. We need each other. Nobody's an island. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Nobody's an island. An organized gathering of people who have not been together for a long time. Now this, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. This is just the descendants of James and Sarah Jones. Let's see if I can raise this up just a hair. Uh-oh. Don't know what it is. Okay. I'll get up here. Y'all can't see this. James and Sarah Jones, and then these are their children. They had Armistead, Mary, was a pal, and I'm going to show y'all some slides on where I got their names from. Esom, James Jr., Tom, Henry, and Ida. And it's somehow the names, y'all, this got me. Ida was a Sarah and James' daughter. But, you know, there's other names, those names, like when you do genealogy, you'll notice you'll run across different families, similar family names. And then Armistead's children, which a lot of, are there anybody here who's not a descendant of Armistead? Is anybody here? Everybody is a descendant of Armistead. I know we had Chester, who was, he was really trying to make it, but his health wasn't too good, so he didn't make it, and he sent his love to everybody. But he is a grandson of Jim Jones Jr. So everybody here is descendant of Armistead. And like I was explaining to somebody, Armistead was married twice. So Ed and Bertie, don't many people know about Bertie. Bertie was Ed's sister. And then from his second marriage, he had Joe and Sarah and Shirley, Gwen, Mary, Leslie, Bessie, the twins, Archie, and Cleo. Okay? That's Armistead. Army, AD. And that's him and his second wife. I don't have a picture of his first wife, Lucy, who was Ed's mom, but this is Armistead and Katie, who was his second wife. And this was an awesome picture that Betty Kimbrough had posted.
She'll be here tomorrow. She's like, will you send her the PowerPoint? She's like, she wants to see this.
Okay. She said she got it from
Elnora?
Yeah, she did that. Now this is, I love this. Now on the, ain't neither. I'm gonna mess with you. You named everybody off. Can you help me here? Is that Mary?
Mary. The twin, Bessie.
Bessie. That's Shirley.
Leslie. The twin.
Sarah.
Gwen.
That's Ed, right?
Oh,
I think you said there was Ed on the.
that's Uncle Buster in the middle.
Buster, okay.
And Joe. That's my dad.
That's okay. I think that's Ed. I'm almost sure that's Ed. And then this here, this is Ed too, right?
Right.
That's Ed, yeah. That's Ed, and that's his wife, Elora. And then this is Elmer. His oldest? Okay. Elmer and Ida. Precious, that's an awesome picture. That's
really great.
Awesome. That's Ed and Joe Jones and Ed Jones. Ed was his older brother. That's the twins, Leslie and Bessie.
Aww.
That's Joe, that's right, Shirley, and that's one of the twins, Leslie. Okay. This is a tree that I put up a while back. I think a lot of people got it. That's on Facebook. A lot of people saw that. And I'm just going to talk about Sarah for a minute. Who was she? But we talk about her a lot. Sarah Jones was a full-blood Chickasaw Indian born in about 1835 in Tishomingo, which was the first capital of the Chickasaw Nation, from 1856 until Oklahoma statehood in 1907, in what was then called Indian Territory. You know, Oklahoma was called Indian Territory. We don't know many details about Sarah's life, but what we do know is that Sarah was a fighter for her family. She didn't just complain. She assumed her responsibility to do her part to make things better for her and her family. How do we know this? She left this information in the form of lawsuits that she filed and fought for about 8 years. I was made aware of them about 10 years ago, not long after I started my genealogy research on our family. For me, this family history research journey began at the request of my maternal grandmother, my mother's mother, affectionately known as Mother Tucker. She's not related to the Joneses. I'm a Jones, of course, through my father, the late Ronald William Jones. That's my dad. He was Joe Jones' son. That's my daddy. Y'all try that, my dad?
Yeah. Wait, put that back. Put that again.
Yeah, blood is thick. But one day, my maternal grandmother on my mother's side asked me to check into her father's Creek Indian history. As we knew, he had received land from an Indian allotment that ended up being taken away from him by the stroke of a pen in the Wagner County Courthouse in Wagner, Oklahoma. That research process had me pretty familiar with the Dawes Roll application microfilms. That's all we had back then. We didn't have it, wasn't on the internet. So we had to go there and go through the film, and it was pretty tedious. Well, around this time, I was fortunate to be my now late cousin, Albert Al Carolina, who was the son of Leslie Jones Carolina. Leslie was one of my grandfather Joe Jones's twin sisters. The twins' names were Leslie Carolina and Bessie Carolina. Bessie Hardeman, I'm sorry. Al had found Sarah's case at the Oklahoma Historical Society here in Oklahoma City and showed it to me. I went to the Historical Society and printed out my own copies, out. We don't know Sarah's birth surname, but we do know from the court case that her father was a sheriff from the Ardmore area, and his name was Lusu. Her grandmother's name was Bessie Blackwater. Like I said earlier, Sarah was a full-blood Chickasaw Indian. On May 28, 1830, a policy of Indian relocation from east of the Mississippi River to Indian Territory, what is now Oklahoma, was signed into law by President Andrew Jackson. This was the Indian Removal Act, or what we know as the Trail of Tears. In the case, in Sarah's case, it is stated that these Chickasaws came from Mississippi.
Question.
Yes.
So you couldn't find Lucy's last name?
I got that off of the case, which I'm going to show some slides of the actual case, but all they said was her daddy's name was Lusu. I want to know his last name. I would love to know his last name. But that's just a map of where the Indians came from, and the Chickasaws came from the Mississippi area. And pretty interesting. Seminole came from way down in Florida. That was the Trail of Tears. So Sarah was born in Indian Territory, but her parents came from Mississippi. That's just a close-up. That's just a map of the different areas of what was Indian Territory that was given to the 5 civilized tribes. Sarah married James Jones at the age of about 32, and they had 7 children. James Jones was a black man, therefore, of course, their children, Armistead, Esau, Mary, James Jr., Tom, Henry, and Ida would have been mixed children and showing Negro features as well as Native American or Indian features. You can see these features clearly. You can see these features in their descendants clearly. The Dawes Roll, just kind of explain what the Dawes Roll is. It's just the Dawes Roll was what they gave to the 5 civilized tribes. They call them civilized because they had structures similar to what the settlers of America had. So they called them civilized. There was no more or less intelligent. They just called them, they just called them 5 civilized tribes. Now, this is Sarah Jones' roll number. See, it's a few of them because she had applied a few times, and it was a fight for her. But this was her original roll number, or her original application number, C-134. This was interesting because when you look into it, nobody else has a C in front of their name. Even I called the Chickasaw Nation because I was curious what the C meant, because I know she was denied. So I said, well, did the C mean denied? No. No, because these are all of the what all the letters mean, and D means doubtful or denied, but there's even later the Chickasaw Nation said there's no such thing as a C. I said, well, I'm looking at it. But what I found out was a C meant canceled. She applied. We're going to get into the case. This is the actual case. It's very interesting. This was back in 1896 when they applied. They had to apply for citizenship into the nation, into the whatever tribe they were wanting to, whatever tribe they were in. They had to apply and be accepted. So when she initially applied, they rejected her. So she had to file she had to appeal it. She had to go to court. So this just and the reason this is black is because this is so old, and the letters you can just see it better in the negative state. So that's why I printed them out like that. This is where I'm getting all of her names, all of her children. Now you can't see them too well, but they got Armistead, Esau. They said Mary Jones married Jesse Powell, so she would have been Mary Powell. And Gives a whole bunch of information. If anybody want to see that, I've got it. This is a close-up of what we just saw. She was 65 years old at this time. She had married James Jones 38 years before, and then named all of the children that they had. Okay, this is the bottom half of that same. It's the 4th day of December, 1898. Now this is basically everything that happened. This is September 9th, 1896, original application filed, Sarah Jones, all her children, Armistead, Lucy, his wife, everybody. She filed, answer filed. November 23rd, 1896, application denied and endorsed, Negroes never owned by Chickasaw. And then she appealed it. So she went back to court. March 8th, 1898, the judgment was reversed, and they were allowed in. January 15th, 1900, the judgment basically, she fought this in the United States court. This was in, no, she originally appealed in the United States court, but the United States court, what this last judgment was, it said that Chickasaw Nation was sovereign, so they don't have to do what the U.S. courts say. So they basically ordered that matter of fact, they were saying that the Chickasaw Nation, they had the right to get all their money back on everything. It was just, that's what happened. So that's when she lost her citizenship. So that's why it's got a C in front of her name. And these are just some other, it's a real lengthy case, very, very informative. It just gives a lot of information on some of the little details, about her dad, like Amari asked. That was my daughter that asked that question, actually. And, and who her grandmother was and different things like that. There's some good information on that.
That's a tree.
That look familiar? Anybody ever seen that tree? Yeah, I like that. That's Sarah. This is just, it's awesome. Tanya and Tony Burkhalter sent this to me. Sarah, this is, I've got a copy of it if you want it, but they have the big copy. Awesome. At the end of it? I guess it is. Well, that's it. I was trying to keep it short, and I thought I had more slides. I was ready to trim it down, but I guess they need to trim it. I could have listened to it all night.
I know, that was a lot of good history. Wonderful, wonderful.
I thought it might be interesting just to kind of get an idea of who our people was. If she's, are you ready? Are you ready back there?
Yeah.
Do you ever have a Olive Verner, Ed Jones? Ed Jones' brother. Did you have anything about him?
Olive?
Olive. Wasn't that his name? Olive Verner. Ed Jones' brother.
I don't know. That's some good information.
He had a daughter named Betty. Nancy, yes.
Okay.